Hi, this is Udrin, and I'm going to show you a basic form of meditation that is called Shinay in Tibetan, or shamatha in Sanskrit, the Indian language that communicated the teachings of the Buddha to the world. So I have a cat here. This cat's name is Jati, and we're going to meditate together. This is called, Shinay means calm, abiding, really. It means she means peace, and nay means place. So we're going to a peaceful place. And you'll recognize that if you've done any kind of meditation, you'll recognize this. This is very familiar. What we do is, in Buddhism, we sit cross-legged. Sometimes you're going to want to have something. It would be ideal today if I'd remember to bring a little cushion down here. Don't overarch your back. I see this happening with these big hockey puck-like cushions, and then you have your knees down here and your butt up here, and it creates too large a curve in your back. You want to find where your natural curve is in your back. Mine's kind of shallow, and so I would take a shallow cushion and then sit on it with your butt just a little bit raised up. And that's from me. It may be that you can't sit in this position, and honestly, I sit in chairs a lot. I sit different ways. I even practice lying down sometimes. In that case, no problem. Do what you can do. The problem with lying down is you fall asleep, but on the other hand, eventually you'll wake up, and hopefully you'll still have time to go on meditating. So, in my school of Buddhism, we put our hands down on our knees. This is regarded as a Hindu posture, that you see so much represented in yoga classes and in various places. It's, to our way of thinking, it's like this posture is, you believe God is outside of you and you're bringing God in, like this is this openness posture. There's nothing wrong with that. But in our Buddhist tradition, it's more inward, and we won't say God, but enlightenment, your Buddha nature, your natural awakening is inside of you and is just covered over with temporary veils. Then what we're doing is, in practice, is gradually coaxing those veils off. And as my teacher Lama Tarchen Rinpoche used to say, it's like we're like a balled up piece of paper. A piece of paper's been rolled up for so long, it just sits like, set it down, it just stays rolled up. But if you kind of coax it out and flatten it out, it'll temporarily open up, and then it'll roll back up again, right? But if you keep doing that again and again, eventually you'll have a nice, relaxed, flat piece of paper. And that's where we want to be as a starting point to be able to practice towards enlightenment. We have to be able to chill, right? So here's a way to chill. In our tradition, you have your eyes open, and whether you want them, there's various instructions. Generally, if we're wanting to chill, we want our eyes slightly in a downward direction, and because if we're all agitated, at least at first, you'll find that having your eyes open and directed slightly downwards, it's roughly in the direction of the nose, where the nose would be, going out here, is a calming kind of gaze to have. But if you are tired and falling asleep, or mentally dull and dragged out, say once you've been at school all day and you're just wiped, then you might want, so you don't fall asleep and you're present and awake for your practice, you might want to raise your gaze to looking straight out, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. In fact, that's considered the gaze of the Bodhisattva, or the awakened warrior. And we'll talk more about what a Bodhisattva is as we go along. And you can also find some stuff in my novels. Plug. So, in our tradition, we have the mouth slightly open and air naturally, breathing naturally through the nose and mouth. And aware of the breath as it goes out. So you'll notice, because I'm old, my eyes will look like they're closed. They aren't closed. I have glare here. My eyes are lowered and they are open. You'll notice different people feel it different places, but some people feel in their chest, some people feel in their mouth, in their nose, etc. There's kind of a sensation of air going out. Bring your attention there and attend to the air going out with each breath. Often the way that mindfulness practice is taught in the secularized version of Buddhism right now is focusing on both the out-breath and the in-breath. But we're not going to do that. We're going to just be natural and not doing any particular thing during the in-breath. So the air is going out, the air in your body is mixing with the air out here. And you're gently bringing your mind onto that. So, what you'll notice when you go along a while doing that technique is that you are thinking. And that is something that everybody does. It may be that you're in a place that day where you have a lot of thoughts, or you seem to have a few thoughts, but there's always thoughts. And don't sweat it. Just gently bring your attention back to the out-breath without punishing yourself, commenting about how bad you were for having to distract it because you weren't. It's just normal. Just keep bringing the breath back. Oh, you suddenly realize it's been 5 minutes and you have not been attending at all to your breath. You've been thinking about anything else, anything imaginable. Your mind will go off and do, and that's normal. But then just say, okay, bringing it back to the breath. Sometimes some teachers will say, thinking. Now, this is Chogyam Trungpa's innovation, I think. Maybe it's done in Tibetan, I'm not sure. Just say, oh, thinking, and then bring it back. Well, you don't necessarily need to use that word, but say, oh, back, focusing on the out-breath. So what happens then is that bigger and bigger gaps are created between the thoughts, even a second or two. It's such a relief. The first thing I noticed when I started to meditate was, even if I meditate for 5 minutes, 10 minutes in the morning, by late afternoon, when I always used to be tired all the time after a day's work or a day's school work, I was not tired. So that resting your mind has, even for a short time, has immeasurable benefits. Is it the beginning and end of the path of enlightenment? No. Will it take you to enlightenment? Probably not. But we'll talk more about what enlightenment is and how the people who are enlightened tell you get there in future videos. For me, that's a path to pursue. I'm interested in it. For you, it may not be. Maybe for you, you just want to chill. So I invite you to come here and chill with me regularly. Come visit my channel. Hope you do. And give meditation a try. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.